thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own project. If you're like me and really enjoy having something on while you work, sometimes the content you like is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. It is Friday for you, and it's currently about midnight for me on a Monday morning. I know, and I have to work today, so it's gonna be an interesting one. I have like a bunch of meetings. I have some employees to supervise, where it's more like I'm texting throughout their shift to make sure they're doing what they need to do, helping them if they have any questions while they're physically at our facility and I am working remotely. Just based on the rules and what they do and what I do, I can work from home most of the time, but about once every, well, depends on how things go. Sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's once every 2 to 3 weeks that I have to go in person just to do some stuff. But for the most part, I am at home for the rest of the year, which isn't too much longer. I have enjoyed being able to sleep in a little bit because I don't have to get up and, pack a lunch and walk to work and do all of the things that I usually would do in the morning. But we are probably, at this point where you see this video, I may have had to go in on Wednesday. I am unsure because at the time of filming this, the plan was that I would go in either Tuesday or Wednesday to finish up the project that made me have to go in on Saturday of last week. So I am hoping I don't. At the moment I'm filming this, my arm still hurts, like extending it right here, my bicep, from all of that physical labor. Was just, it was a lot. It was a lot on Saturday, so I crashed when I got home, and then Sunday, technically the day that I started filming for the rest of the week, was my catch up on my chores day, and I am happy about that. So as soon as I'm done filming, I'm gonna edit Wednesday and Friday video, upload those bad boys along with Monday's MLM rant, and then I will have to get some shut-eye, because 6 hours or 5 hours of sleep, honestly for me as of late, is pretty good. But over the weekend I got a lot of sleep, so I'm very surprised. But I was also very tuckered out, so I kind of can see why that happened. Hoping I can go to bed early tonight, like technically Monday night as well. Don't think I have anything crazy going on Monday evening, so we'll see. And it is raining at this point in the day. I believe this Monday it's kind of weird because it's like I'm started filming for the day on Sunday night, so I kind of still feel like it's Sunday even though it's technically Monday morning, like the very first hour of the day. And it's raining, and it's supposed to rain the rest of Monday, which reminds me of home. I like it when it rains and I get to stay inside. Just a little pitter patter is really calming to me. Let me know in the comments if you also enjoy the sound of rain. I like the smell of rain too. Just like a fresh shower makes everything smell so fresh, and it's very interesting. But now, do I like walking in the rain? Nope. There was once when I was younger, maybe like 14, and I went outside. It was raining at my parents' house, and it was like summer, and it was so warm, the rain felt like taking a bath. So I went outside, and I was just in the yard, like dancing around, like, oh, this is great, this is so fun. And that was like the one time that I did that. And I hadn't done it since, but I was compelled because of how refreshing the rain felt. But now, usually, if I'm in the rain, it's because I have to go somewhere. So it's not as fun as when you're young and jumping in puddles. I mean, I guess you can jump in puddles at any age, but it's just not my thing anymore. But let me know. Do you jump in puddles still? Do you like to hang out in the rain, even if you have to go somewhere and don't want to be sopping wet when you get there? I just don't like how I feel all soggy and sticky when it rains really bad. I got stuck in a really bad rainstorm going to work once, and my pants were soaked. Like, the wind and the rain was like coming at me at a 90-degree angle, so even though I had an umbrella, it did nothing for me. So I had my space heater at my job that I usually have on all the time. I just brought it home actually on Saturday after work. I'm like, oh, I actually need to bring that back because it's fall and it's gonna be cold soon, and I'm gonna need all the ammo I can get to stay warm. And one of the things I love are my bathroom heaters, my bathroom fans. You guys remember that bathroom fan that I had in here? Well, it's still in here, but it has a fan, so then it just blows air on me, doesn't keep me warm. But there is a setting for the heater, and that's usually the one I have on all the time. Year round at my job, it's never warm enough for me. So I have that, but I bought another one for the house, but since I'm not at work right now, I'm like, why don't I just bring the work one back home and have two? So then, when I'm in here and one day it gets too chilly, then I can run that. And downstairs, I loved having my space heater on downstairs, because then I'd turn it on right in front of the couch and I'd just sit there. And then the cats would want to hang out because I have the heater on and they want to be next to it too. And it's just a good time. But it's too early at this point. We're going to be like in the mid upper 50s this week, so we're still good. We're still good before we need it. So for me, like, just having the sweater on is totally fine. This is kind of like my signature winter and fall shirt. You've seen me wear this a lot on the channel. It's not like I don't have a lot of different shirts to wear. It's just I like this one as like my hangout shirt. It's like a pretty dusty rose kind of color. Very trendy a couple years ago, I think, and it fits, and it's not snagged by cat claws. So it's like my go-to hangout shirt. I used to wear it, well, I've worn it to work too, on occasion. Thankfully we don't have like a super strict dress code, If there's like an important thing going on, then, you dress up a little bit. But honestly, it's like me and one other person who actually dressed for certain occasions at work. But, maybe that'll change once we're back in person again. But, I'd go in and I'd see different people who were not dressed for the special occasion and like, oh, you're in a higher position than me and I look more professional at this point in time. But on a regular day, it's like, whatever. As long as it doesn't have holes in it and it doesn't make you, it doesn't make you look like you might be a customer, then the employee, then, you're fine. So, which I like. I'm happy that I've been able to have jobs, except for when I worked at McDonald's and Kmart, where we had like actual uniforms. Those are the only two places I've ever worked where I needed to wear a uniform. But my partner is supposed to wear a uniform, but they don't, because they just don't want to, and nobody has told them they have to. But like the company they work for has like a special shirt with branding on it that they've really been encouraging everybody to wear. But my partner's like, no thanks. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me know. If you have a job, do you have to wear a uniform, or can you wear what you like? Are you guys business casual, super professional, suit and tie, skirt, 3-inch heels? Like, what's your general dress code? I'm curious. And when I was younger, like before I started college, like right at the beginning, like kind of end of high school, beginning of college, my one of my hopes was that I was going to work in an office, like a corporate office, where I had to wear like suits. Back then my feet could handle wearing heels for longer periods of time than they can now. And that's probably why they can't right now, because I have bunions, and I used to not have bunions. But I also used to wear high heels a lot, which is crazy. It's like, what high schooler needs to wear high heels? Apparently I did. And I just remember walking around, going to school, like in college, wearing high heels and like barely making it back to my apartment or dorm or wherever I was. Just being like, ouch, my feet hurt now. And here I am, barely out of my, well, like barely in my early 30s, and like no high heels. I'm flats. I might do a 3-inch heel here and there, but rarely. Have them, but I just don't wear them that much anymore. I have to walk around so much that I'm just like, I just don't see the practicality of it. And the roads and stuff are jaggedy, like super raggedy around here, and they're not good for walking for long periods of time. Now, if I were living back in my life back home where I would drive a lot more and didn't have to walk as much, I probably would wear heels more again, just because I didn't have to be on my feet as much. But getting places. But yeah, I thought about what kind of cool dresses and power suits I could wear with matching high heels and like all the designer labels. But then I thought like I would instantly become like this head honcho, ad agency person doing like really cool stuff and making a lot of money where I could afford all that. And here I am, knitting humbly in my townhouse, which I'm still making money, but I also have lots of student loans to pay, so it doesn't feel like that. But you know how it goes. You always have like no concept of how much things are until you actually are making your own money. I mean, unless you aren't very financially savvy and you own your own lemonade stand when you're like 6 and you're like, yes, I understand the value of $1. But it really wasn't until I started having my own job that I was like, yeah, paying for stuff is kind of tricky, you know, when you can't just ask your parents to spot you all the time. Why are we on this? Oh yes, uniforms. So yeah, tell me if you have a uniform for your job. Do you like it? My couple jobs ago, some of my coworkers and I were talking about how we would like a uniform because then it would just take the hassle out of, you know, trying to think of what to wear every day. And I kind of have like a uniform, but it's more like my go-to outfits that I wear all the time. They're not necessarily, you know, 5 changes of clothes I wear every single week, but kind of like a standard. Like you see me wearing a lot of the same pants and shirts and cardigans and shoes, but thinking of what combination of those to wear every day is where it gets kind of tricky. Which is why I've been enjoying this working from home business, where because I don't go anywhere, I can literally just wear the same outfit for like 3 days in a row because I'm not exerting myself, I'm not sweating profusely, they smell fine, I'm literally just sitting at my computer all day, and I have, I choose not to use my web camera because there's so much that can happen in the background. I just prefer people not to see all of that. But I should add my office picture to my background so then at least people know who it is. Right now it's just a black screen with my name across it. But my webcam isn't attached to my computer, so I have to keep plugging it in every time I use it, and that's a hassle. And making room on my desk for it, getting it at the right angle, and all that, I'm just like, nah, I don't use it. Which is why I have 2 meetings today, so I need to add my picture like first thing in the morning, because these are meetings where like they probably would rather have me use the webcam, but I don't want to, so I'm just gonna add my picture so at least they can see what I look like. But yes, if you're in an office setting, are you zoomed out? Are you tired of WebEx? Are you tired of Teams? Are you tired of Zoom? Are you tired of Google Meet? What other web meeting type software is out there? Are you just burnt out? Raise your hand. I am so tired. I just have projects that I need to do, but I keep getting, it's like the Zoom is the new like knock on your door even though your office door is closed and says like I'm busy or I'm on lunch or something, and you still have people knocking on your door. If you can't relate, you're very lucky, but if you can, I feel for you because that's what my life is like at my job. So the fact that even though I'm not in person, I still have that same like knocking on your door kind of scenarios where they're like, hey, you got a minute to Zoom? And it's like more like 10 or 15 minutes that you're asking me for. And it's like, kind of no, but at the same time it's like you have to say yes because I don't know what's going to happen if I say no, but it's not going to be good because of what they're asking for and who's asking me. So it's like, sure, yes, I can keep getting interrupted 6 times in one day and not do anything on my list I have to do because people just can't send an email. Everything is urgent. But you know how it is. And if you don't know, then I am so so glad you don't have to be in that boat with me. But I think that'll be nice to be back in person. That'll be one of the pluses, is just maybe with the actual visual door closed, then I mean, it didn't happen before. I don't know why I think it might happen now. But with the requirement of social distancing, maybe it will, because nobody's going to come to my office door because they need to be 6 feet away from me. So maybe, I don't know. We're still trying to figure out when we open up again, how we're going to open with everybody in the same area, and how we're going to handle our clientele and everything. As right now we're working on like very, very limited services, so we're just trying to make sure we can keep our doors digitally open, still make our money, still do what we got to do, but safely. But with the talks of, vaccines and stuff coming, we're considering what 2021 might look like, and I have mixed feelings. I'm like, even if there is a vaccine, one, how are we going to make sure that people that we're interacting with are vaccinated? And if they don't want to be, or if they don't want to comply to, our PPE regulations, how are we going to enforce that? And how are we going to keep our staff safe? If one of us gets sick, how are we going to keep running if we don't have people around? It all just seems very risky. I'm just surprised that the powers that be made the decision to keep us in the current state where we're mostly working remotely. Some folks go in all the time, some go in some of the time, like me. Some haven't stepped foot in the office since March, when we all left. So it's a crazy. But can you believe that? Like, March, I looked at my calendar when I went into work on Saturday, and the last time I was in my office, like a regular day, was August 20th. Or what? No. March 20th was the last regular work day in my office. And my calendar is still on March. My little kitty cat tearaway calendar, still on March. My little cat cartoon calendar that I flipped, still on March. Everything. It's just a time capsule of what I was up to then. So, it's weird. But to think that back in March, my supervisor, well, not my direct supervisor, but the supervisor of our larger department was like, think of some projects, think of some things you can do for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of work. What can you do at home for 2 to 3 weeks? And then 2 to 3 weeks turn into, okay, what can you do for a month? What can you do for 2 months? What can you do for hey, okay, this is like gonna be the rest of the year. What are you gonna be up to? And then we're like, okay, no more pretending. We gotta just make this happen, and this is what we're doing from now on. And now you really have some projects. And I was like, I already had stuff on my project list that I haven't even been able to do because I've actually been busy doing things that are more time sensitive. So I still have that list, I still have 2-3 weeks, month worth of some admin work that I can do, some project planning work that I can do, but I don't even know if I'm going to get to that. It'll still just be something I carry over year after year after year of projects that I really wish I had time for, but if I keep having these Zoom meetings people keep pretending to knock on my virtual office door. Paws and Pearls is just going to say it. These are some things, these are on my wish list of things I would like to do. But I have not been able to. So. At least I know that it keeps me busy, but at the same time, I'm I wouldn't say I'm a completionist, but it does hang over my head when I know there's stuff out there that I haven't done or haven't finished that I really want to do. So it never leaves my mind, that's for sure. Okay, we are, we'll go ahead. We'll knit to about halfway to the middle of the instep. A couple more here. Let's take a look. Okay, that's about the middle. So not quite the end of the round, but not quite the beginning either. We are almost there. Almost there with my cousin's daughter sock. Did I let you guys know that at the beginning of the video? This is my cousin's daughter sock. Her sock for Christmas. Hoping to get it done soon so I can start on my cousin's sock next. And in a very pretty colorway as well. So here we are. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on as usual. I hope you were able to get a lot done in your own project, and if all goes well, I should see you next Monday. So have a good Friday and a great weekend. Bye.